Hey, welcome back, IB International Economics students, to this video lecture. Today, we're continuing the idea of the Marshall-Lerner curve and using the illustration of the diagram of the J-curve to illustrate the relationship between the current account balance with the exchange rates of a single currency. So this is for HL students of second year IB economics students. So in our last video, we have talked about the Marshall-Lerner condition. We have talked about how the evaluation and devaluation of a currency is affected by the price elasticity demand of the current account balance of the exports of the goods, of the net exports of a goods, in relation to whether or not the current account is going to be in surplus or in deficit. So here basically sums up what the Marshall-Lerner condition is. When PED, the net exports of PED, the price elasticity demand of net exports is greater than 1, and the devaluation of the currency occurs, then current account surplus will occur, given that there is elastic demand for net exports. Now, vice versa, if price elasticity demand of net exports is lesser than 1, which is inelastic, then we have and given the fact that we have a devaluation of the currency, then we'll have a current account deficit. So the J-curve, combined with the Marshall-Lerner condition, will examine in the short run and in the long run the relationship between the exchange rates and the current account imbalance. So right here, in the short run, price elasticity is usually lesser than 1, okay? So that means in the short run, it is generally inelastic. Therefore, if the exchange rate decreases, exports decrease. Now, that's really clear once again because of the Marshall-Lerner condition. And if imports and imports increase, leading to a current account deficit. So right here, phase 1. Okay, so the first thing that happens, exchange rate decreases. And what happens when exchange rate decreases is that because we have a relatively inelastic net exports, because PED is lesser than 1, it decreases. The current account balance decreases. Okay, so in the phase 1, the current account balance decreases because of the inelasticity of the current of the import market, of the product market for the net exports, of the price elasticity of demand, leading to a decrease in the current account balance. So this is what we have in the phase 1, and that's why the J curve dips down as the alphabet character of J dips down in the first section. Now, after some time, let's think from the consumer's perspective. Imagine if the U.S. dollars get weakened. Now, the demand for goods will not just go down immediately. The demand for Chinese manufactured shoes will not just go down immediately. The demand for German manufactured cars will not just go down immediately. However, the effects and the consequences of a lower and weakened exchange rate will affect people. So in the short run, the benefits of a lower exchange rate has not kicked in. However, the harms and consequences and the negative consequences of a weaker exchange rate has already been accounted for. That is why the inelastic demand of net exports will occur, leading to this downward sloping J-curve. However, in the long run, the effects and the positive effects that having a weaker currency will kick in, and foreign people and foreign consumers and foreign buyers will realize that American goods are now actually a lot more appealing because of the weaker exchange rate. Therefore, we will have an elastic a net export demand curve. Once again, in the long run, however, price elasticity demand will exceed 1. This is when the exchange rate decreases. Exports will increase because American-produced goods are now a lot more appealing in the foreign market, foreign product market, seeing as how the exchange rate is lowered. Imports decrease because American-produced goods are now more appealing, and foreigners also see American-produced goods more appealing, leading to the current account surplus. And upward sloping from negative to breaking even, which is when elasticity is equal to 1 and even greater upwards. So it's quite obvious why this is called a J-curve. Once again, it's because of the shape of the J-curve, and the shape of the J-curve is dictated by the elasticity and the laws as illustrated through the Marshall-Lerner condition. So in order to really understand and illustrate the J-curve well, you have to be able to understand the Marshall-Lerner condition first and apply the Marshall-Lerner condition to the current account balance throughout the short run and the long run, and examine the relationship between the price elasticity demand and as well as the effects on the current account balance. So I do hope this video is helpful, and I hope to see you guys in the next video where we'll be talking about the next unit, which is economic integration. I'll see you there.